UDance is an organization that believes that college students have the power to change the lives of children suffering from cancer, and we take a lot of pride in raising money all year long and culminating that in a 12-hour dance marathon at the end of the year to celebrate all the progress that we've made and the impact that we're making in people's lives. UDance was started in 2005. It was founded by one of our Greek chapters here at Delaware, and since then it's really grown to be a huge organization. It's the biggest student-run philanthropy on UD's campus, and that's something that the entire executive board really takes a lot of pride in. We work really hard all year long. We have fundraising events, we do canning, we do profit shares with different restaurants. So all year long, the students at UD are working super hard to raise funds. All the money is donated to the Andrew McDonough B Foundation. It's actually a Delaware-based organization. Their founder is Joe McDonough. He is actually a University of Delaware alumni. So it's really near and dear to our heart that we get to work with that organization. He lost his son, Andrew, when he was 13 years old to leukemia. And ever since then, he started the foundation, and he's been providing financial assistance to families with children who have cancer for the past few years, and they really do a great job. They help a ton of families, and UDance is really proud to contribute to that organization because they really do a lot of great things.
The B Foundation was born out of the tragedy of my 14-year-old son's passing. On a Saturday, my son Andrew helped his travel soccer team win a Pennsylvania state championship in soccer, and just 48 hours later, he was diagnosed with leukemia, went into septic shock and cardiac arrest. They resuscitated my son but told us that Andrew wasn't going to live through the night. My son battled for 166 what we call bonus days, and through that time, he had almost 50 operations, 4 strokes, and a brain aneurysm. On 4 separate occasions, they told us he wasn't going to live through the day. My life was irreparably changed at 1:55 p.m. on the 14th of July, 2007, when my son died in his sister's arms. Before going in the hospital, Andrew out of the blue had said to me, "Dad, what's my blood type?" And I didn't know. And on day 2 in the hospital, we found out Andrew's blood type was B positive. And that was just so fitting because that was the way my boy lived. And on day 2, Allie, Andrew's 16-year-old sister, started drawing posters and put them on the door of the room. Said, "Don't come into this room unless you're going to be positive." Andrew had not given up, and we didn't want any of the caregivers to give up. And so when Andrew went to heaven, we started the B Foundation to provide assistance to families of kids with cancer and fund research. And here we are 10 and a half years later, and last year we helped almost 2,500 families with about $2 million to be the largest provider of financial assistance to families of kids with cancer nationwide. And we also awarded over $2.2 million in cutting-edge research grants. And the only way this is possible is because kids helping kids fight cancer. Our biggest event is here at the University of Delaware, where last year the students raised $1.9 million. It's just incredible. As an alum of this school, I'm tremendously proud, and I'm proud of the students here at Delaware and also the students at the 90 other campuses across the country, because they're willing to add one more thing onto their plate. There's families that won't have to worry about paying for their bills while their child is fighting for his or her life. You know, a lot is said about kids these days. Well, I'll tell you one thing. If it wasn't for the kids these days, the B Foundation would not be the size it is today and making the difference it is today. The generation today in college is so much more philanthropic than when I was in college, and I thank God that they are, because these kids are helping us make a huge difference, changing the lives of families, and also funding research where kids are literally alive because of, in some small part, the assistance we provided to make that research possible. You know, my son should be 25 years old. I start and finish every day in Andrew's bedroom. I cannot tell you, there are no words to describe how much I miss my boy. But when I look out in the room and see thousands of college students, it inspires me. It really fuels me to keep going in quite frankly, a sadness that I have, you know, mourning in the loss of my child, 10 and a half years later. But these kids They helped build my son's legacy while changing the world, and I could not be more appreciative.